Hello world. I'm Robin Catling, and this is Write On. Join me in my author journey as I delve into the craft of writing, bringing you tools, tips, and lessons learned the hard way so you don't have to. Conventions of the action genre. Writing a fantasy series, there's no way I can ignore the conventions of the action genre. A solid action piece has to include some mandatory ingredients of plot, character, and theme. Scratch the surface and you'll find I write all the tropes of a classic western with swords. My opening story ticks every item on the action genre list, using just one example from author and writing coach Savannah Gilbo. Here are the action genre conventions. Number 1. The protagonist has a special talent or gift and the potential for heroism. Of my characters, Jovanka has second sight, the ability to see the future. It's both a gift and a curse. Vala is a fighter of mythic abilities, stealth, strategy, and unorthodox fighting techniques. 2. The protagonist's goal is to stop the antagonist and save victims. Jovanka and Vala both want to bring down the Emperor and his soldiers. She has a contempt for authority figures, since all the ones she knows have abused her in some way. 3. There are multiple lives at stake, including the protagonists. The Emperor's Vipers slaughter their way across and beyond the Empire with extreme prejudice. The Horse Clans want revenge on anyone from the Empire. 4. The antagonist is stronger and/or more powerful than the protagonist. 50 battle-armoured Vipers, led by an angry ginger sadist, and a tracker able to turn invisible at will. That should do it. 5. The protagonist has a moral compass that the antagonist does not. Both Jovanka and Vala rebel against the injustices of the Empire. 6. There's a speech in praise of the antagonist. The priest at Torquen's Well praises the Empire. Talbot the Tracker revels in his part in the Emperor's victories. 7. There's a MacGuffin, or a very specific thing the antagonist wants. The MacGuffin here is Jovanka's vision of the Emperor's death. The Emperor is determined to suppress it, and that means eliminating her. 8. There are sidekicks who help the protagonist save the victims. Danan the Walker is an inspirational figure for both Jovanka and Vala. Marto switches sides to help them later in the story. 9. There's at least one mentor figure who gives the protagonist guidance. Danan, as the wise shaman, fills this role. Gulata is a long-time mentor to Jovanka at the start of the story. Finally, 10. There's a ticking clock that puts pressure on the protagonist. Jovanka and Vala rush to escape before the tracker and the Vipers catch them. The net closing around them represents the sand in the timer running out. Walking the tightrope. Those are just some of the conventions or tropes of the action genre. You can add or colour conventions to further define the story. I've absorbed the conventions and story structure from probably hundreds of B-movie westerns and fantasy adventures over the years. When does convention or trope fall into cliché, though? The trick is not to fall into parody. It takes very little effort to tip from drama to melodrama to outright comedy. The 1993 western Tombstone teeters on the brink every time it reaches a pinch point or a turning point in the script. Lawrence Kasdan's 1985 Silverado never puts a foot wrong. Back on the literary front, you find these genre conventions all the way back to Arthurian legend and Greek mythology. Kidnapped has literary kudos to match its action plot. Nobody sniggers at Robert Louis Stevenson. Where Eagles Dare is a favourite nuts and bolts, behind enemy lines World War II tale. Even I frequently groan at the dialogue and the set pieces. That's all for this time. Thanks for stopping by. You can like and subscribe to the channel, or go to robincatling.info to check out the blog.